I have dated a lot of dudes, which I have dated a lot of dudes. I will not lie to you. I have dated long distance, short distance. I've dated rich. I've dated poor. I've dated nerdy. I've dated jock. I've dated everything. And I think that I am probably more than qualified to talk about what a woman wants, or at least what I want in a man and what I look for. And I just thought I would make a video talking honestly from a woman's perspective, no bullshit. I want to do a whole series. This video I want to take into consideration the questions when it comes to courting and the initial getting to know a woman and not fucking it up and whatever else. Like I said before, I want to do a series, and I'm hoping to have like a collection of dating advice videos at the end of it. I think it'll be kind of cool because I'm really no bullshit when it comes to this stuff. I really just want to like put it out there and put how I feel out there and my experiences out there and let you guys kind of just take what you want from it. A small disclaimer, I'm not every woman out there, obviously. Women are all different, nothing's cookie cutter. The best thing I can do is give you guys advice from my perspective as to what I've learned and what I like, and from my friends' perspectives, at least what they've told me. I mean, you can't take my friends' word all the time. I mean, half of them tell me they don't watch porn, which is a lie, by the way. All women watch porn. Girls watch porn. Stop lying. We know you do. It's fine. I'm going to start with something that is probably going to piss off at least 80% of my viewers, but I'm going to say it anyways, and please don't click off the video until I'm done talking about it, because I know some of you probably will. But nice guys do finish last. As fucking shitty as that sounds, I wish I could control it. I wish that I could, meet a nice guy who is right away emotionally available and committed and just be like, holy shit, I want to date you forever. But there's something about it that is an extreme turnoff for a lot of women. And after thinking about it for a really long period of time, and after people asking me over and over and over again on my stream for about 2 years, I have finally come up with why I think at least nice guys finish last. In my opinion, when a man opens himself up emotionally fully and commits fully, it is essentially like a woman sleeping with a man. It's on the same level of like giving. So when a guy does that, he's basically giving into what the woman is looking for, or one of her main desires in a relationship. It's basically giving her exactly what she's dating for, right? I'm not saying that men only date for sex, but I'm just saying that sex is a big part of it, right? Like, you guys date to fuck. You date to fuck. But if a girl slept with you on the first date, chances are you wouldn't be very interested in having an actual relationship. This stems back to the whole idea of novelty when it comes to human beings, right? Human beings naturally do not appreciate things that they do not work for. They'll gladly take it. They'll take it, but they will not appreciate it to the same extent. That goes for money, that goes for jobs and opportunities, and that goes for people too. If you give a woman your full emotional availability, they will take it for granted, and they will not value it to the same extent that they should. And by not valuing it, they will also not respect you to the same extent that they should, and that opens you up for disinterest and, in worst case scenario, abuse, because you will be abused if you're not respected. It's just the way it is. So probably the biggest thing that I would have to say for nice guys that are dating, you have to be very cautious with how much of yourself you give right away and how much you commit right away. You have to constantly keep in mind yourself, because usually being a nice guy means that you're a selfless human being and you want to put others in front of you. And I know it's extremely hard, but it's something that if you just throw yourself at that person, chances are you're not going to get out of the relationship what you want. On the topic of nice guys, another thing that I should probably touch down on is gifts. A lot of guys, if you find a woman that you think is worth your time and you think is interesting and you think is deserving of the world, you will immediately put them on a pedestal and think that they deserve everything. And It has happened to me before, and as soon as you put that woman on a pedestal, you are asking for trouble, especially in the gift market. A really good rule of thumb, and this has happened to a friend of mine, a male friend, if you pull out the big guns and get big gifts at the beginning, women will expect more as time goes on. Typically, not all, obviously, but most will expect more as time goes on. So, for example, my friend whipped out the Tiffany earrings right away. And, of course, later on down the road for Christmas, he was screwed because money-wise, he needed to up his game or else she was going to be disappointed. If you pamper her too much, too early, expectations run way, way, way too high. That being said, on the other side of the coin with the douchebags, because being a complete douchebag obviously isn't exactly the best way to go when courting a woman either. Don't think that I'm telling you that you need to be a total cunt to girls, because you don't. It can also be very bad. For example, I find with the men that I dated that were more so selfish than selfless, for a lot of them, when we were in the initial courting phase, they were very bad at upholding promises. Promises about going places, doing things, promises about certain plans in the future, whether it had to pertain to me or not, and falling back on them, essentially. When you do that, to a lot of women, commitment is a huge thing, just in general. And if they feel like you can't commit to things in your life as it is, they're less than likely to want to see what your commitment level is like later on down the road. Because at the end of the day, whether we want to admit it or not, as women, we are looking for a caretaker for our potential children. And lack of commitment is not exactly the sexiest thing on the planet. And whether or not a woman is ready for kids, it's something that is programmed in our head, and it's always something that we're going to look for. That's a huge one. If you're selfish, going back on promises and commitments is a huge red flag for a lot of women, and in the initial courting process, it will turn women off right away, and they will lose interest extremely fast. It's almost as bad to be extremely unavailable emotionally as it is to be extremely available emotionally. Not giving her anything to look forward to or to discover, or like little breadcrumbs essentially, is asking for her to lose interest really fast. Because just like men are interested in the sexual components and the physical components of a woman, women are mostly, at least for me, interested in the emotional, stable kind of support-ish elements of a male. A couple of side notes, things that are just instant turn-offs for women. Crying. A good rule of thumb, if she is not crying, you should not be crying. Period. Nobody should be crying. I think it's equally as unattractive for a woman to cry over really petty shit as it is for a man to cry over really petty shit. It shows overall emotional weakness, and later on in life, you wonder how they're going to handle serious, actual, legitimate issues. Crying at really stupid shit is a really good way to make a girl not like you really fast. Just being honest. Another huge thing is hygiene, and this goes both ways. Being not hygienic enough is going to turn a woman off for obvious reasons, but being too hygienic will also turn a woman off a lot faster than you think. Being too hygienic and too OCD about your body odor and your hair, etc., is very concerning for a lot of women, or at least for me, because it makes me wonder what they think of me. Because I shower every fucking day, I brush my teeth twice a day, but I mean, some dudes go above and beyond, and it freaks you the fuck out. Like, it pressures you to, like, be, like, overly uncomfortably clean, and it also makes you feel anxious as to, like, why they're so insecure that they need to be, like, constantly cleaning themselves, essentially. Okay, so the last and final note, I touched on, I guess, money a bit when I was talking about gifts, but money is a huge thing, at least for me, in regards of if if I feel like the guy that I am getting to know leads with his wallet and talks about his income or uses his income to try and flatter me, it's a huge turnoff to me. It's actually probably one of the biggest turnoffs to me, because it makes me wonder why they need to use their wallet instead of who they are to impress me, I guess. I have had guys where I've gone on a couple dates with them and they wanted to flex their wallet constantly, or they talked about their income constantly, and I couldn't get past it, and I had to stop going on dates with them. There are some women that are attracted to that, but those are probably not the type of women that you want to date. So, I guess to wrap it up, nice guys do finish last. Opening yourself up emotionally way too early is a really, really, really good way to lose a girl. Douchebags can also fuck it up, obviously, by not committing to things, whether it pertains to her or not, and also not giving any sort of emotional openness at all. Gifts, if you're throwing money at her way too early on, you're fucking yourself really hard. Leading with your wallet is super, super, super bad. Never lead with your wallet or your income. And always be passionate about what you do, and lead with who you are as a person, and share your interests and hobbies with her, because she'll be into that shit. Courting is probably the most delicate part of the relationship, but it's always important to, first and foremost, be 100% who you are, keeping in mind being sensitive of the other person, because you can only hold that shit in for so long, and if you act and pretend to be somebody you're not, eventually she's going to figure it out, and it's going to be an extremely messy breakup and really shitty for both of you. So you might as well figure out if you like each other right away than, you know, faking it and figuring out 4 months later that she actually hates who you are. Because that happens, and it's happened to me before. Anyways, I want to keep doing videos like this. I really like shit like this. I'm into this. I like sharing my life experiences and what I've been through and what I've come to terms with, and the conclusions that I've brought from them. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll be making more of these, and thanks for watching. Subscribe if you don't. There's a Pusheen over there. And yeah. Okay, see you guys next time.